Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Dior, and this is Divinity Original Sin 2. So I muted my Facebook, so hopefully that won't be bothering us for anytime soon. And I noticed something when I was going over the videos that my mouse cursor doesn't actually show up on the screen, but it does show up things that I, mouse over. So I apologize if that makes things a little bit difficult to point out. I checked to see if there's anything I can do about it, but as far as I can tell, there is not. Anyway, so yeah, we're on the Lady Vengeance, or whatever it's called, and there's a bunch of things we can loot and people to talk to and all that nonsense, but we're just gonna go straight to the bottom floor here. Actually, before we do that, we have a storage chest right here, and we can put stuff in here. I'm just gonna put a bunch of keys in here because I don't need them. What else can we put in here? Band of Brachus, Corrupted Tyrant Helmet, and Miko's Ring, and the Gloves of Teleportation. And Faint's Maskless Shapeshifter, and all these body parts that we don't intend on using anytime soon. Face Ripper. We have 2 Restoration skill books, so okie dokie. Get there. Okay, that should take care of that for now. So yeah, you can put as much stuff as you want. It's your storage chest. Have fun with it. Sergeant Zrilla here is the person you can talk to get generic characters. I don't know if you make them from scratch or what. I know in the first game it was kind of you had to pick from just a list of people. But I don't know. And this thing here.
What's this? I found something.
Okay, well, one thing we found this loose plank, which I'll get in a bit. But if you click on this thing, it's a thing that lets you respec. Alright, so let's go talk to Loshe.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere? So, we've got quite the task on our hands, haven't we? I have to admit, the whole thing is very intriguing.
Tell her you don't know what this next chapter will hold, but you hope she'll join you in finding out.
The old band back together again, hmm? I guess that depends, doesn't it? Look at me. Hard. What do you see?
Loshe leans back slightly, thin arms crossed in front of her chest, and stares at you defiantly from dark eye sockets, darker and deeper set than when you first met. She blows back a lock of white hair, matted with sweat and grime, and holds back a smile from the corners of her lips.
If it were up to me, you'd be swinging from the end of a rope, not locked up in here.
Yeah, don't joke about this. She'll actually get annoyed about it. Tell her she looks worse, looking worse for wear.
Exactly. Exactly. Your god wants me dead. My god? Devil? Who knows? It wants me. It's getting stronger and I need to outpace it. I want to make sure you understand, well, the risks.
Alright. And if you say, yeah, there is no risk, she gets angry about it. So say you understand them fully, she should still join you.
You'll do what you have to do, right? If I fail, if this thing takes control, you'll protect yourself and everyone else against it. Even if it means killing me.
Tell her you did it before when she turned against the El Sahela, remember?
Do I ever? Still sore from that one. At the time, I wanted you to defend me. I didn't realize how bad things had gotten. I know better now. Something like that happens again, you do what needs to be done. Deal?
Nod, it's a deal.
Well, all right then.
She pinches your cheek, a sparkle in her dim grey eyes.
I knew I could count on you to murder me in a pinch. Let's go, Chief.
Alright, so we got Loshe back.
Lady Vengeance.
By the way, Bishop Alexander's alive. I figure that'd be kind of important to know. Anyway, so one thing we're going to do, we're going to actually have Loshe go over here and mess with this. So with this, we can actually adjust our attributes. Now, I consider keeping like a little bit of Constitution just so she can equip a shield if need be, but I'm going to go ahead and go full in on this nonsense here. So we'll go ahead and pop this, and we'll go ahead and pop some more memory. And that's about it. Everything else is good to go. So that's really all I wanted to do. It's at 15 right now. Actually, we'll drop 2 points of intelligence and increase our finesse again. So that will put our finesse at base 14, which should be more than enough to equip anything up ahead of us. There you go. Alright, well, let's go ahead and open this thing. Found a loose plank here. Has some extra loot, that's about it. There's a bunch of things we can loot from here. Unfortunately, it's a bit heavy. Alright, let's get rid of the oil barrel for now. Alright, so this is going to be a big looting spree. This particular arc of the story is actually rather short, assuming you know what you're doing. Well, even if you don't know what you're doing, process of elimination tends to handle most of that. Lucky Charm proc.
Can't you say anything else?
So yeah, Constance over here is questioning Magister Ranley. She's pretty much doing the standard name, rank, and social security number. Other characters are here too if you want to talk to them. I guess one thing to note is whoever you don't take along will die very soon. An unusually strong mushroom with an unusual strong taste. The amethyst deceiver can be bottled, and its concentrate will grant temporary strength if you can bring yourself to swallow it. Of course, we already know about strength potions. So there's these weird doors here, and that's preventing us from getting into the main chamber there. If you talk to Han and Samadel, they'll mention it as well, but I'm not going to talk to them. Go ahead and we'll work our way up from the top again. So we'll go here. Here's Jules.
We're lucky to have made it this far, but our luck will be for nothing if this ship doesn't take sail soon.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Anything else worth selling? There we go. Thank you. Let's go ahead and identify what we have. There you go, Siegebreaker Shield, level 8. There's the Red Prince if you want to talk to him. Another proc, okay. Intelligence. It's practically the same as what we had before, except it's air resistance besides instead of fire.
Nothing on any of the dead bodies. Maybe there's something below decks.
Trickery.
You made it, Godwoken. Good. Not all of us did, though. The sooner we leave this island behind us, the better.
Okay, let's keep going. So yeah, the issue is, of course, we can't, the boat refuses to move. If you go and try to touch the wheel, it will set you on fire. Here's Mattis. Bunch of bodies you can loot. There's Claude.
Claude. So close to escaping.
Alright, so that book is actually important, so we'll read it. Today is a momentous one, so momentous in fact that I decided to start keeping a diary to record my time on the Lady Vengeance so that one day, should I have a family, my children and their children may know of the small involvement in these momentous times. So to begin, today the late Divine Lady Dallas, Hammer of the Order, arrived on boat. She swept by in all her momentous gloriousness, and I fancied that as she glanced at me, a tiny smile twitched at the corner of her mouth. The hammer smiled at me, possibly. Then she went to her stateroom, and there she spoke to the doors. I did not hear the whole of the conversation, but I believe she spoke of the principle of fortitude, which is of course an important part of both the ethos of the Order and of maritime construction. The door seemed suitably inspired and open for her. She glided inside, and we have not seen her since. A moment to stay. Orders, we have orders. The ship is to see action. An evil band of rebels has landed on the island, and we are to destroy their ship. And perhaps them too. Tomorrow I shall recount the story of our glorious victory. Fortitude is the key. Fortitude shall open the doors. Alright, so we got some information. We learned that the password for the master cabin is fortitude. So I'll go ahead and save you the trouble. If you go to the doors and say fortitude, it won't be enough. Hammer, buckets. Alright, so... Okay, don't need to worry about any of that right now. I could take that bone and craft it into some bone dust, but I can worry about doing all that crafting stuff later. The stuff is white armor, but it is level 8, so it is a kind of a significant upgrade, but none of it's anything we need. We're pretty good on the gear front.
I remember this one. His name was Kerbin. His friend's sword couldn't save him, it would appear.
Yep, so here's the sword that he was talking about, the one that was like chipped and banged up. Miko's breastplate. Oh, this is the stuff I sold to him. Ha 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 ha. Alright. And a whole lot of money. I will happily take all of this. There's also a body up here. And then there's this person up here who's praying about the guy that got incinerated. He got incinerated because he touched the this little dragon head here and ignited. You know what? I'll deal with that later. We got everything else. Okay. So let's go back inside. We need to go into like the second floor and finish looting that. We could have some conversations with people, but to be honest, it's not really that important. Most of these characters don't even matter anymore. I'll grab that rope. Alright. So there's actually quite a bit of things you can loot here. So there's the box here. A box here. Barrel there. Yep. There's rope here. Rope there. More rope and more rope and more rope. Cool metal, scraps of metal we can turn into arrows. There's Fane. Most of these chests have junk in them, like clothing and stuff, so it's not really that big of a deal. Alright, got all that. Panties. Yep. And here we can at least get
Nothing.
drunk.
Empty as Dallas's heart.
And that should be everything here. Alright, so we'll go to the other side. Starting with this workbench here. So the workbench you can actually craft at, but these individual vial racks you can also loot. And they tend to have lots of empty vials. If you've been concerned about getting potion vials, this point in the game will solve that issue for quite some time. Because it's almost guaranteed that every single one of these vial racks will have at least one empty potion for you to take. Also, there's this. Clicking on this will reveal new recipes. Same thing for the one over there. Also, I forgot to actually pick up the stuff that was actually on the workbenches. Like these repair hammers. Alright, got
Where would I find
those.
something important if I was a Magister?
I'll probably sell some stuff to Extra in a second. I'll first take all this water stuff and craft them into water arrows. Then sell the containers. Unidentified one. Oh, I'm now carrying too much. And that's a salmon pie. There's these silent Dallas's assistants, which are silent monks or whatever they're called. They're not going to be of much help to us. Alright, well, let's do some crafting and see if that can reduce our inventory some. Do I really want to craft a rain scroll? No, not really. Spare teleportation scroll wouldn't be bad though.
Well, there must be something around here.
Okay, and you can actually hit this little plus thing.
What am I even looking for? Will I know it when I see it?
Okay, I do have room. Not much, but I have room. Okay, all of that's identified. Great. Extra, where'd you go?
There
Over
must
there.
be something around here.
Hey, Extra.
I'm glad to see you again, Godwoken, but I can't talk right now. If we don't figure out how to get this ship moving, we're dead.
Alright. Knockdown arrows. Freezing arrowheads. Fire arrowhead. Regular arrowheads. Some skulls. You can actually get blank skill books now, which can be somewhat useful. We won't need the empty potion bottles anymore. We already have an empty grenade. The perfume bottles, I believe we can use. No, never mind, we don't need them. No, yeah, we don't need those, we're fine. What else can we grab? We could buy all these herbs if we really want to, but I don't want to. Okay, so that takes care of that. So all of this. All of that. If I end up having money to spare, I'll sell more junk. Or I'll buy more of those components. Alright, sell the buckets. They're pretty heavy. Oh, and the painting of Alexander, that's 150 pounds. Yeah, go ahead and sell all the rope. Resell the stuff that I sold that I just got back from that one guy. Just making sure I'm not selling things I don't need to sell. In fact, he has plenty of money from all the stuff we sold to him before. And we don't sell those, that's fine. Sell one backpack, I think. Yeah, we can sell one backpack. And sell that. Not too... oh. Sell those. Sell these. Alright, got most... yeah, not too bad. Let's go ahead and make the trade. Alright, click on this on the wall, and it can get you some more recipes if you don't have them. It looks like we got them all already. Alright, grab all the cooking pots. Got a washing tub here, but we don't care about that. Okay.
Around here.
That should be good to go. Let's go ahead and go down. Can't do anything with all that fancy stuff yet.
The Seeker flexes her arms stiffly. Her joints audibly pop. She sees you draw near.
Thank you.
I owe you, Godwoken. Without your help, I'd likely still be a prisoner around here, not guarding Alexander the bloody divine himself.
She nods her thanks and immediately winces, laying her hand on the back of her neck.
Peer at the figure lying on a cot within the brig. It is indeed Alexander, out cold. Shoot a quizzical look to the Seeker.
He must be tougher than he looks. To have survived that fight with you and the others. The wicked ones are always the last to shuffle off to the Hall of Echoes, though, ain't they?
Ask about the other Magister prisoner. Is she anyone important? Nah, I'm not gonna ask that. Tell her to open the gate. You want to find out if the prisoners know how to get this ship moving.
Good luck getting anything out of either of them. Our special guest is out cold, and the other one ain't in much of a talking mood.
Say that you have to try and demand that she unlock the cage.
All right then, just don't make me regret it.
We have learned that Alexander survived and is now the prisoner of the
Hope you find
Seekers. He is
something
locked up on a lower deck of the Lady Vengeance, unconscious. So you can try talking to her, and if you have enough persuasion, you can probably get some stuff out of her. But what we really want is from Bishop Alexander.
Get away from him, sorcerer. That's the divine.
I'm gonna go ahead and just kill her. I have enough. I'm pretty sure I have enough strength to actually convince her to back off, but I'm just gonna kill her. Executed. The money.
Bishop Alexander lies supine on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, his eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle.
Look closely at his simple regalia.
A beautiful six-sided gem rests on the bishop's chest, hung round his neck by an ordinary oiled rope.
Slip the gem from around his neck, place it in your pocket.
The gem sits heavily in your pouch.
Take your leave. Don't need anything else from him. I don't know if you can actually go and kill him. It'd be nice, but I'm not going to. Alexander turned out to be in the possession of a rather peculiar gem. We decided to borrow it. Who knows when such a trinket might come in handy. Probably right now, because we need it. And the left door will not open from this side, no matter what you do. So you have to go towards this door. Well, the north door.
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice its unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection.
The old text spoke of doors like these. Disputodiums, they were called. Place your palm against the door.
The wood groans and creaks. A face appears in the wood, tortured and tormented. A six-sided indentation is carved on its forehead, as if a gem or amulet had made a mark there. The face vanishes.
Hold the gem you took from Alexander out towards the door.
The anguished face appears once more. It dips its forehead towards you and waits.
Hold the gem to the six-sided shape carved in the figure's forehead.
A shudder of pleasure racks the figure in the door. It seems to breathe. All of a sudden, all anguish is gone. It gives you the sternest of looks.
I am summoned. Speak the password.
State the password. Fortitude.
Yes, and yes again. The word is spoken. Welcome to the stateroom.
Alright. Below decks, we found the cabin that Dallas had been using. The entrance is guarded by two speaking doors. We must get past them somehow. Well, we just did that. Alright, so we got more experience. Now, remember what I said about getting all those potions? All these shelves have vial racks. we manage to get inside Dallas's cabin, we should search it thoroughly. Oh, we will. Through this wall. And also, each of these vial racks have a chance of proccing freaking Lucky Charm. Because, you know, that's a thing. So needless to say, we're going to get more potions than we'll ever need. Well, we'll be able to craft as many potions as we like, essentially. There's also a few drawers. We actually don't need the empty bottle. Alright, let's back away from that for a second. Let's go ahead and check what that amulet is. +1 strength, +2 pyrokinetic, +1 Hydra Sophist. And it's 29 magic armor. This would be a great upgrade for Arumia, but I really want to keep that Lucky Charm stuff going as long as possible.
You can put a price on the warriors I have for hire, but you can't put a price on the glory they'll win you.
Just one more moment, please.
So yeah, we can go ahead and trade with this guy. He's actually got a bunch of runes to play around with. Take that. You know what? I'll take them all. There's also source orbs, which can do some fancy things. You can actually equip them to your equipment, and they will grant you skills. You can also use them for crafting, and you know, all sorts of good stuff. And I can get a level 8 weapon here if I really want to. We'll hold off on it. Anyway, in the meantime, there isn't anything we need to sell at the moment. So we'll just buy this stuff and call it a day. Anything else that stands out? I mean, there's some obvious weapon upgrades, but we'll take the knockdown arrow as well. Okay, good enough.
He clicks together two halves of some type of gauntlet sitting in his lap and turns his full attention to you.
And there. Rescued at last, am I? To whom do I owe my thanks?
Say that you and your compatriots have seized this ship from the Magisters and demand to know who he is.
I'm a prisoner, of course. Do you think I'd be sitting here calmly if I was a Magister holdout? That infernal Dallas woman left me trapped here, too weak to escape. It seems I'm in your debt.
Point out that prisoners aren't usually held in the master cabin. Why was he here?
Dallas took a particular interest in me and my skills. I'm an expert in healing, crafting, and more arcane practices. She kept me here to do her bidding. Until you took her flagship from right under her nose, it seems.
Remarks that it sounds like he was kept as her personal slave.
Oh, yes. And she could be a most cruel mistress, I'm sad to report.
He extends his arm and pushes up the sleeve. Beneath, the skin is withered and discolored, as if it were magically decayed.
She used some form of domination device on me, forcing my hands to do her bidding, and I've ruined them in the process.
Express your sympathies.
Well, the situation is looking immeasurably better now. You'll hear no more complaints from me. So why don't you tell me all about my valiant rescuers? To whom do I owe my thanks?
Say that you're just an escapee and that you're lucky to have made it this far.
You undersell yourself. The roster of those who stood up to the Magisters and lived to tell the tale is a short one.
I've done the third option before, and it's he pretty much like, oh, you know, confident, aren't we?
I ought to continue what I'm doing here, unless there was anything else.
Tell him that the ship is immobile. Does he know what might be causing that?
Dallas didn't tell me anything if she could avoid it. But I did overhear her practicing an ancient lizard dialect. Significant, perhaps, don't you think?
Say that you heard the lizards could use certain songs in their language in order to exert control over slaves.
Indeed. Perhaps you should look about. There might be something of the sort that you could use to that effect.
Ask what exactly Dallas had him do here.
Oh, cast spells, tinker with relics, meddle with the laws of nature. All the sorts of things power-hungry despots love to do. She had me enchant a dead cat over there, so it would seem alive.
He clicks the gauntlet into place around his withered forearm, his eyes on you the whole time.
But that damn contraption that she used on me seems to have fogged my memory. The rest is a blur.
Mark, that memory loss is very inconvenient. There must be more.
Trust me. Convenient is the last word I'd use to describe the experience. Pass me that copper wire there, would you?
Pass him the wire.
He takes the copper with a nod of gratitude. His sleeve slips back, above his elbow. In its crook, you see part of a tattoo. A pattern of concentric circles rendered in black.
Seems like the Black Ring, or what they're called.
Perhaps my memory will come back with time. But for now, I'm afraid there's little more I can add.
Say that you don't believe him.
I'm doing my utmost to be civil to you, under rather trying circumstances. Why must you push me like this?
Remark that his strange banner, his abilities, his tattoos, something doesn't add up. He's holding back on you.
I'm more than a sum of my parts, friend, indeed. But I fear you might have come to the wrong calculation about me. How about you just let this matter rest?
Something tells me that he'll only bring us woe, but I can't judge him yet.
Alright then, the Seekers trust you, and I shall too. I offer my friend a hand in friendship.
He takes your hand in his gauntlet-clad fist and shakes it. There's a lot more power in his grip than his slender frame would suggest.
Call me Tarquin, and consider me at your service.
Ask about the gauntlet he's wearing. Is it Magister forged?
No, this piece is far beyond what those wretches could muster. This is something of my own design, to meet my own requirements. The Magisters left me weakened, but this will help give me the strength to carry on my work.
Wonder if he can give you any insight into Dallas following his time in her captivity.
I must admit, despite what she did to me, I can't help but admire her a little. The woman is unwavering. She will break before she bends. So if you should cross paths again, be sure to leave her broken. You will not get another chance.
Alright, take your leave. Alright. We found a strange man named Tarquin locked inside Dallas's cabin. He claims that he was being held aboard the ship as her prisoner. Tarquin told us that Dallas may have used an ancient lizard technique of using songs to control slaves. Perhaps this is related to controlling the ship. We ought to investigate further. No, first we need to loot everything. So yeah, plenty of empty vials. Plenty of opportunities for procs. Plus 24 physical armor gives plus 1 leadership and 7% dodging. I'm going to go ahead and equip that, because that is useful on Loshe. So what leadership does is it buffs allies. So it's really good for like a bigger group, having at least one person with it. But beyond that, it gives a bonus to dodging resistance to every. I think it only gives it to allies, not herself. So having it on her will probably help with Rumia's tanking ability.
like a teleporter pyramid. It could certainly come in handy.
Only one way to find out. Try using it.
Yeah, so we got a teleporter pyramid. This is from the first game as well. The way they work is if you use them, it'll teleport you to where the other pyramid is at. Or your choice of pyramid if you have multiple different types. I already know where the other pyramid's at, and we don't want to activate it because it'll take us directly into a combat. Draft. From the desk of Dallas the Hammer, be warned, subsequent to the bloody atrocity committed by Asan shall all Seekers be stripped of the titles and privileges once afforded to them as members of the Divine Order. Their mistake must not be repeated. Note to self, leave Meister and Driftwood. This is enough. We learned about the Mistake, a sorcerer who was once trained by the Seekers, only to turn on them and cause a great deal of death and destruction. This calamity caused the Seekers to fall out of favor with the Divine Order, forcing them to become an underground movement. Alright, let's keep going.
This is written in ancient lizard script. It appears to be a song.
Book is written in what appears to be an ancient dialect of the lizards. Its content can be understood by few, but it might be possible to recite it phonetically. I will not attempt to pronounce that because I have enough trouble with regular words.
What's this? I found something.
So the teleport pyramid will actually take you to where that little hidden entrance will take you. But obviously, we don't need to use the teleporter pyramid because we know where the secret is. Confidential medical log from the desk of Niles, house physician. Round 1, normal stuff, purging applied to sorcerer, result typical. Round 2, normal staff, purging applied to non-sorcerer, result death. Round 3, modified staff type A, purging applied to sorcerer, result typical. Round 4, modified staff type B, purging applied to sorcerer, death. Handwritten note curls across the bottom of the page. Need stronger relic, technological modification, equal failure. Alright. Let's go. Hey, there's a kitty there's a skeletal cat there. I don't know if Pet Pal will let you talk to it, but it probably will. Now we got a billion rows of books to work with. We'll check all the books in a second. Because, you know, epic leggings in the freaking bookshelf. Alright, upgraded legs for strength users. Gives wits, initiative, and constitution. This level 8 will be quite the upgrade compared to the level 3 we had. There we go. And the plus wits now gives us a total of 35% crit chance. Sorry for the lack of action. Alright, let's read a bunch of books. Water as a weapon. Herbert quickly outlines the ways in which a sorcerer of a certain bent may turn even a gentle rain to their advantage. From the razor-sharp ice of razor-sharp ice to frosted armor through to strange powers of healing. Cranley seems willing to acknowledge that a good hydrosophist was at one point in time of great value. Now he seems to paint a rather darker picture. By the way, you can have these scrolls. There we go. And I think these are books we've read already. No, this is a new one. If I understand this Ranger rhyme correctly, these verses seem to claim that you can carve a stunning arrowhead from a tooth. Worth a try, even if it turns out to be gibberish. I'll chip a tooth, I'll cut a molar, I'll tell you I can cut them up if you're the donor. I shape them sharp, I carve them spiky, into an arrowhead that's oh so very likely. To stun the foe, to shock the rival, they will be floored so you can run for your survival. I don't know, kind of tapered off at the end there. This page is split into 3 columns. In the leftmost column is a series of words in an unfamiliar language, in the middle column is a series of common words, and in the right column are numbers. I think I've read this before. Nope. 1218 AD, Lucian and the Black Ring. In this treaty, Cranley the Scribe goes to great lengths to document the genesis of the Black Ring, as best as he can. In summary, Lucian's adopted son, Damien, was resentful of his father and became the Lord of Chaos, which sounds extreme, but according to Hubert, Damien may have had good reason. There is much about Lucian's killing of Yugurna, Damien's lover. Damien's banner attracted a cabal of outcasts, deviants, dark wizards, and various other tainted and tarnished individuals. The cabal became an army fighting for the void. A rather strange song is transcribed in this book, but the words of magic crawl into your head and give you new insight. In the Isle of Dead, before they rise, you will hear... Yeah, we've read that one. Next. Must never forget that all citizens of the realm have an equal stake in its success and ought never to be subjugated to the will of the few, and especially not that of a tyrant. There is not a monarch alive who has not, by sheer force of nature, been removed from the cares and concerns of his or her citizens. Thus, there is not a monarch alive who deserves his or her position. If what I say is true, you may wonder how it is at all possible to govern, if the act of governing itself corrupts. My answer is very simple. Let the people rule. Too bad our own political system doesn't do that. The page is lined with formula, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's just this book is filled with unfamiliar script and figures, quite useless indeed. At least it's honest, I guess. Water's Weapon we already read. And this is... From the series of easy-to-memorize nursery rhymes comes this pearl. Fly agaric, white and red, should you eat it you'll drop dead. Mix it, brew it in potion distilled, then coat your weapon, kill, kill, kill. Alright, take that plate. Nothing in it.
You can put a price on the
Another
warriors
book.
I have for hire, but you can't put a price on the glory they'll bring.
This book is unreadable. Thanks. There's a strong box here, but we don't have the key for it. And we found a blouse.
What's this? I found something.
This is a hidden switch. So we'll unchain Loshe and have her step here. And that shifts that over and I can hit that button. And then I can go in here and loot all this stuff. As a busted two-hander is level 8 and is actually an upgrade. So this would be 8793, but it's probably going to do less damage. Yeah, it'll do less damage. I mean, it'll probably do more physical damage overall, but it is what it is. That button, that opens that door, so now we can get in from both sides. I somehow grabbed that item through the display case, so good for us, I guess. Alright, good to go on that. There's a painting, some gold. This chest that has junk in it, some more paintings, necklaces that all are just generics. They just give raw magic armor. And... Alright, so let's go ahead and... try not. Let's actually end this in a combat, shall we? Alright, so there are level 8, the Hammer's Pets. So we met these at the very beginning of the game. And we get to have some fun with them. We'll put you there. That'll hit them both. Can I get to you? Alright, let's give it a shot. Whirlwind. And then... got them both because of crits. Awesome. So yeah, that pretty much takes care of the fight. Alright, let's see what I can pull off here. I'll do rain. Okay, that puts me on water. Okay, that freezes him. So I can focus on the other guy. Or miss, because I'm terrible apparently. Get them both. Yeah. I can do that at least. Alright. Well, the good news is I can easily well, I can't refreeze you, but I can definitely do this. Stun you both.
I'll yield to none.
Were those guards or victims?
Well, they're dead. That's
Both
pretty
up
accurate.
there.
Sorry, I think Loshe actually said something there. Alright. Running out of time here, but I'm trying to get as much done as possible. Decent magic armor, but that's about it. You know what? I will go ahead and take it. Because I can use some extra magic armor. Desk. Jar of mind maggots. Here's the other teleporter pyramid. So you can do some pretty fancy. You can do some pretty fancy things with teleporter pyramids. You can throw them. You can throw one of them like over a pit and then use it to teleport across, or do some wacky kiting with it. Shackles of pain, some other junk. Charm arrows, little arrows that do charm. Toy dressing screen, huh? Logbook. Madame, as requested, I have carried out thorough trials on the impish pyramids and have drawn the following conclusions. Using one pyramid teleports you to the other. Connected entities will follow whoever has initiated travel. You can use a pyramid while holding it in your hand or interacting with it while it rests on the ground. Touching a pyramid isn't sufficient to use it. One must access its other functions by another method. This is all I have discovered, thus you have assumed this is all there is to discover about this particular relics, Tarquin. So yeah, if you have party members connected, they'll teleport with you. It does require a ton of action points to activate them. It takes 6 actually. We also got a jar of mind maggots, so we can make another one of those fancy charm bombs. what else we're missing? Anything up here? No. We got the key. That's kind of the important thing. Test jars, candles, laboratory stuff. Okay. Let's read the book real quick, and then I should be able to loot some more stuff. The book is lined with beautiful calligraphy in an unfamiliar language. Okay. Go back up here. Alright, so with that key, we should be able to open both these chests. Steam Lance book. It's one of those source spells that uses up 2 memory slots. Not really worth it because you don't really need healing spells in this game. If you're getting hit with healing, if you're taking damage, you're probably already dead. Pages and pages of undated diary entries fill the well cared for yet well-worn tome. Of course, I'd like to think that this makes sense because all of this is for nothing if I lose my head. The only thing I can count on to guide me is my good sense. Without that, I'm no better than them. Is it really as mad as it seems? We're so alike. There's a kinship there that I've never felt before. I suppose history would paint me the same way it painted them. If I don't succeed, Dallas the Tyrant, Dallas Rex. So, Dallas Rex, I don't know if that's a joke or if that's actually her last name, because then that means she's related to Brachus Rex. Power is important. I said it to him in one form, and he said it back to me in another. Power is necessary in order to do great things, worthy things. The only worthy thing, he knew that, and so did I, and heads break along the way, but in those shockwaves, something invaluable shakes loose. I've never met anyone who understands this. What I wouldn't give to open those bars and go and sit beside him. Look straight into his eyes. I bet I'd see my own reflection in them. What am I waiting for? Toward the end of the diary, one entry stands out. It is written in large unkempt print, the same hand as before, but not the same mood. Amazing. He's seen so much more in me than even I knew to look for. The form he has shown me. Hard to believe I ever believed my wings were figurative. So, yeah. Looks like... I'm guessing Brachus Rex's head is probably imprisoned, and she decided to talk with it, and yeah, stuff happened. Anyway, we've gotten everything we need. The song is what we need to activate the ship, and that will lead into essentially the next branch of the story. Needless to say, once you start doing that, whatever party you have is probably going to be the party you're going to stick with. Anyway, I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this was Divinity Original Sin 2. Off screen, I'll do some buying, selling, and crafting. So until then, I see you guys next time.